Hi, now this might look a bit odd as to why I'm covering this up with a box that's already been opened. Because I tell you, I'm jinxed. It's a very haphazard thing because I just want to look at this for myself as well. I had started recording a video of doing the unboxing, and then my camera just fucked off and stopped working. So fingers crossed it doesn't happen again. So imagine I'm just unpacking it now. Blah 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 blah. Oh, taking my label off because I want people to know where I live. Blah blah. Yeah. So this got this from Basil's site. So it's Dr.Fate compendium by DeMatteis writing, and miniseries is by Giffen artwork, and then Shawn McManus takes over the majority of the main series. A little ding in the corner there, but I can live with that because this cost me just £22.99 for a book that normally retails for $59.99. So that in UK money is about 53 quid, £53. So very, very happy with that. So I've waited bloody years for this. This would be one of my most anticipated reads. When I heard this was coming out, when the news broke last year, I've just been counting down the months basically, and to get it for this price for £22.99 is just the dream come true. I read these when they first came out in comic form. So, like I said, the first one. So this was like a offshoot from the Justice League International series by DeMatteis, Giffen, and Kevin Maguire. So they started with a 4-issue miniseries, which is gorgeous. I've not read this since 1987, so I can't wait to dive back in. But this is the series that cemented my love for Keith Giffen's artwork. He's just one of my all-time favourite artists, and I can't wait to dive back into this. I will be doing a video where I give a review of this once I've read it, because I've got a feeling this would be my next read after I've done all my comic reviews, etc. So yes, you have Keith Giffen doing the 4-issue series. I love it when they collaborate together. It's just a shame that unfortunately he passed away about 2 years ago now. And then you have the start of the ongoing series where Shawn McManus comes on. Totally different art style, but so suited for this comic. It's a fine balance which only DeMatteis can do, of horror, supernatural and comedy, without either one clashing. If you've never read this, I highly recommend you reading it. It was years before its time, and it stands the test of time very, very well. It's very much Vertigo light. If you're a fan of things like Justice League Dark, you will really appreciate this. I would love for DeMatteis to come on and do another Dr. Fate series, because he just got the character perfect, and he brings back some of his characters that he created. So iVampire is in here as well. But let's just have a quick look at the artwork. I'm not really elaborating much on the story because I can't remember much of it. I do know that the person who was Dr. Fate handed the mantle over to this young boy who gets aged up, and his stepmother. And there's lots of side characters like this one who is a demon who gets trapped in a dog's body. But as you can see, the artwork is just so beautiful. So if you do, I try not to buy too much from the Basil, so I'd rather support my local comic shops. But while the offer's on, I don't know if it's on in the States, but in the UK, at the moment, it might just be for the next few days, they've got this for £22.99. I do recommend this. It's got just under 800 pages of story, and there's even the guest artists are top notch. So you've got Tom Sutton doing this, who did a phenomenal run on Man-Thing. And his artwork is just gorgeous, really good for horror-centric stories. And who's this one? Jim Fern, who did a series called Scarlet years ago about vampire, very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't even know if he's still alive, to be honest, but he had a bit of a period at the where he got quite popular for a period of time, and he had quite a distinctive style. And then McManus comes on again. Some of this is very reminiscent of his pages, what he did in Sandman, which he did. I don't know if he did it around about the same time or just a few years later. But yeah, it's a perfect blend, like I said, of supernatural, discussions on religion, horror, family dynamics, relationships, comedy, all blended perfectly by DeMatteis. I'm hopefully I've got to rein in my spending this month because I'm saving my pennies for July the 27th. I'm taking me and my daughter to Manchester MegaCon, so I want to get loads of geeky shit when I'm there, models, t-shirts and comics, etc. But I am very tempted to order the Moonshadow collection because I've lost my copy years ago, so I might just wait until August for that, but that's a digression. But again, just look at this art, it's just beautiful. So Darkseid makes an appearance. I love that image of Darkseid. I wish DC would start using Shawn McManus again. I know he's done a lot of work for Hellboy. I think he does a lot of work in storyboards as well nowadays. But he's such a talent. I mean, look at that page. I would love for them to give him a title. Justice League Dark, resurrect that with him doing the artwork. It'd be a surefire seller. And then who's this? Who's that? No, is that him? Who's got a different? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But as you can see, there's no dip in quality. You get some comics. This is very much DeMatteis trope. It happened in Moonshadow. It's happened in a number of titles. What he's done, where there's this, I don't know if he still does follow, but he followed the teachings of this yogi, I think it was, and so this Eastern mysticism comes into a lot of his stories, but in a way where it doesn't feel contrived. It feels quite natural. You just kind of like going along for the ride. It in no way blots out the main gist of the story. It just enhances it. So I do like how certain tropes, what he has, what only DeMatteis has, he brings into a lot of his stories. A lot of writers, Grant Morrison has that kind of thing, where Grant Morrison plays with the with metafiction in a lot of his titles. DeMatteis definitely works in a lot of questions about religion, about is this all there is to life and things like that, and he brings a lot into his work, especially when he's given a lot of free reign, which unfortunately he didn't really get a lot of free reign in Marvel apart from when he did his creator-owned stuff, as in Moonshadow, which again I highly recommend you pick up because you can get it from Dark Horse in a new version nowadays, which, like I said, that would be my next big purchase. But let's just keep flicking through. Another different artist. I think this is Jim Fern again. See, and it all loops round the story. That's what I like with DeMatteis, especially when he did stuff with Giffen as well, where plot points, what you think are just like throwaway plot points, come back in a very prevalent and impactful way later on in the story. I'm just skimming through because I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to ruin it for myself, to be basically honest. But this is killing me because I'm getting very tempted and intrigued by this. Ooh, exactly. Oh yes, one of my favourite characters. I adore the Phantom Stranger. So the Phantom Stranger makes an appearance. That layout is really superb. So as you can see, McManus is on the majority of the title, which is a long run. I mean, there's 24 issues of the regular series. There's the four issue miniseries by Giffen, and then there's the annual as well. So you get a lot in here. Even at $59.99, it's still very good value. And it did carry on. So I can't remember if DeMatteis stayed on afterwards, or if it was handed over to another writer, but it did carry on for about another 25 issues or something. So there is enough for another second volume, and if they do bring it out, I will pick it up, because I'm a big, massive Dr.Fate fan. He's one of my favourite characters in the whole of Marvel Comics from any company. It's just like the perfect supernatural character. So it's good solid binding, really nice. Not what I love about compendiums, they can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages, but unlike an omnibus, they don't feel cumbersome, they don't feel unwieldy. It's a very pleasurable read, and yeah, I am so pleased to get this. I highly recommend you get this, especially while it's on special offer at the Bezos store. It gets my thumbs up. I am going to do another video, I think I might mention earlier on in this, where I'm going to give a more of an in-depth review of this and give my opinions to see if it still gives me that same level of excitement and entertainment what I had when I read it back in the late 80s. Okay, I will be doing a review video later on today, or maybe tomorrow, depends how quickly I get it done. And I'll also be doing a little graphic novel haul as well, because I have picked a few up this week, and I've got a good story for two of them that I picked up, which I got a really good deal basically, and you'll find out why when I tell you. Okay, so speak to you soon, bye.